Hey guys, welcome to Brutes Magoots, where today we are going to be doing some upgrades to this BC Rich Ironbird MK2 Erik Rutan signature guitar. I love the guitar, even though I feel like it's overpriced for what you get. But there are some things that I want to change on there. It comes with a Floyd 1000 with a 12-inch radius on there. I'm going to get rid of that. I have a Schaller Lockmiester Trem system that I'm going to put on there. I'll put a Tremolo on there. I can't get along with active pickups. I just hate them. So I've got some bare knuckle Ragnaroks set to put in there, and then upgrade like the block, and that's pretty much it. We're also going to take a look at the back of this thing. It says that it has a satin neck, but it does not have a satin neck. So we're going to satin the neck too, and really that's all there needs to be done to this. It does already have locking tuners, which is a good thing. So short, relatively quick video, hopefully. I'll do a quick playthrough at the end with the rags in here. I have actually been having good luck with the Floyd 1000, but I know it's just a matter of time before it starts to wear and starts to lose its tuning when you do dives. So I figured I'd just go ahead and do the Lockmiester and just go ahead and take care of that up front. It does have, it has nickel frets on here, but I had it plecked from Sweetwater, and it actually plays pretty good for right now. So they feel relatively good. There's not a whole lot of drag, so I'm not going to mess with those. Maybe down the line I'll install stainless, but for right now it doesn't really seem to need it. So what I'll do is I'll show you all these parts up close real quick, and then we'll do a time lapse to fast forward through all the hard work, and then I'll meet you at the end. All right, guys, so let's start with the electronics. Those are the bare knuckle Ragnaroks. They're going in there. And with the set, they send you a set of strings, the roto yellows, and then like a sticker and a coaster and stuff like that, and a pick. It's the standard fare from bare knuckle. I don't like the roto yellows, so I do the Diodario XS coated strings. I really love those a lot. Let's take a look at the pickups. I got red bobbins to match the guitar. I think it'll look pretty tight. And then I just went with 2-conductor on here. So there's a braided 2-conductor wire instead of like the 4 for split coil stuff. I don't really use that ever. So I just need a 3-position toggle, or really just 2, but I'll keep a 3 in here just to go between the pickups, but I don't do any split voicing or anything like that. And then here's the other one, same thing, but just one for the bridge, one for the neck. And then as far as the electronics, what else we're going to put in there is I love these pure tone jacks. So we're going to swap out the jack, which we need to do anyway because that jack is active. And then just a 5K pot, and then that should set that. Then we'll come across the neck. I like to use anywhere from like 500-600 grain on the neck. And the important thing when you do that is not to use like Scotch-Brite, like some people say or whatever, because it has ununiform grain. So as you're going along, there may be a harder piece in that Scotch-Brite that digs deeper, and you don't want that. So I just do these little foam pads that has a uniform grain all the way across, and it gives you a nice finish, and they're fairly cheap to come by. All right, and then up next, the big thing to tackle is the bridge. So here is the Lockmiester. I'm going to take this apart and swap out the block on here. This is a 14-inch radius, which matches the fretboard. What comes on the guitar is a 12 at the nut and 12 at the bridge. I hate it when companies don't match their bridges and nuts with the radius that the fretboard is. It's lazy, and it just irritates the hell out of me. So this is a matching radius. It's got 14-inch radius on here. You can order, it has a little sheet right here. These are all the options available to you when you order a bridge. So it's just nice to have it right. And you can do like a compound thing too. So, you know, if it's like a 12 to 14-inch radius, you can do like a 12 nut, and then at the bridge that would be like a 16 or so, or 17. You have to map that out. The contour continues on. It doesn't stop at the 24th fret. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. And then here is a 14-inch radius nut from Schaller to go along with it. Then they give you like string retainers and posts and claw and screws. But we're going to set most of that aside. We're going to put in this titanium FU tone block. Now, I'm not a huge fan of FU tone, but this block, and I usually use brass. I've never used a titanium before, but he had a sale where it was like 50 bucks, where normally he charges like some stupid like $200 for this thing. But anyway, so I just got this just to check it out, see if it makes a difference, you know, from brass. We'll see. I don't know. And then I got the standard heavy noiseless springs from them, and then some brass claw screws. And then I got some, excuse me while I'm working around the camera, I apologize. I got some titanium little bits. I got little titanium saddle blocks in here that are red in certain light. Otherwise, it's like a dark red. I guess that's the best it can do. And then I got some titanium nut clamp screws. Here's 2 in my hand, but there's 3 total. And then one thing I want to mention to make your life easier is you can get it from FU Tone, or like there's other places too, but get like a claw spring, a trim spring tool. It makes your life so much easier as far as grabbing the hook and just pulling it over. It just makes it so much easier installing them. Speaking of installing, you'll notice on here, if I can get it in focus or not, which it doesn't look like I can, but here we go. This is coated, and you want to make sure that you Dremel off or sand, however you want to do it, the coating on both ends, so that way your ground makes a good contact all the way across. It doesn't do you any good to ground the claw if the springs to the claw are not even making contact with metal. So you can get some noise that way. And then finally, we're going to put in the Tremol-no system. There seems to be a lot of people that don't know about this, like how it works. I get comments on like, why did you install a Tremol-no? Like you know, you can't even use the bridge as a bridge anymore. I don't understand what they're talking about. So this allows you actually to do the bridge in 3 ways. You can have full floating, or you can have dive only by, if you loosen up this one and you set your stop here, or you can just set this all the way back, which is what I do. And you can have this and you can just use it as full floating. So it's the best of all worlds. I really like it because I will lock this down, lock these 2 screws down when I am doing tuning changes. And then, so I'll tune it like that. Then I will unlock it and I will turn the claw screws to put the proper tension to pull me back into pitch on the strings. And it's super simple. It makes life great, and it doesn't take away from the ability to use the trim however you want it, which that seems to be like a misconception about how these are. So anyway, I'm going to do a time lapse and we're going to jump right into it.
Sinister closed
All right, so here it is, all said and done. It was took about an afternoon. I think in all it was about 3 or 4 hours, so not terrible. Here's a Lockmiester in here, and then the titanium blocks, which heads up on here, he doesn't put a chamfer on the blocks at all. So if you tighten it on the small strings, it won't grab. So you're going to have to knock down those corners so the block can go all the way up against the saddle. Kind of at the price that he sells stuff, Effutone, like it really should be done, to be honest with you. Here's the bare knuckle pickups, the Ragnaroks. The red is a little bit brighter than the body, but it's not totally offensive to me. Overall, I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds too. I got everything played out and then intonated. Everything's in good shape. Control knob, I use the same control knob and then the 3-way toggle as the stock. Everything else went. Didn't really do anything much up here. Here's the new nut and the new screws for the blocks on the nut. And I didn't really do anything up here on the headstock or anything. It feels like I didn't really do much for my work, honestly. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to get this. Sorry, guys. Anyway, here is the back. I'm gonna come around here. You might be able to see it a little better. There's Tremol-no and the brass Trem claw screws, the black standard heavy duty springs. Here is a knot in the wood of the guitar, so go Korea. Back here is the satin neck mod. Came out nice. It's super fast and smooth. And I do a hard line. Some people fade, but I like to do a hard line on here. And then I left the gloss for the binding around the neck. So overall, pretty happy with the way she came out. All right, so that is about it on this one. It was a fun little project again. Really happy with the way it came out. It was worth it to me to get rid of the Fishman Fluences and then upgrade the bridge and then the adding the Tremol-no system on here and stuff, which I live by. I absolutely love it. And really, that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. And I'll be happy to answer anything that you guys have like during the process. I know I shortened everything just to make everything quicker, so it's not a long video. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Or if you have an Ironbird and you want to do some stuff to it, maybe not exactly this, then hit me up and I'll be glad to help you out. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Trem I have made a significant find in the Kandarian ruins, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantations. It is entitled Not to Round Your Mouth,